There is new information this morning from the remarkable story we brought you about a grandmother who had to land a small plane after her husband collapsed in the cockpit and died.
Tape recordings of the cockpit show how amazingly calm and collected she was. Jim Axelrod is here with the story. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Charlie. 80-year-old Helen Collins faced a harrowing situation. She hadn't flown an airplane in more than 30 years, and now, over Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, she had to take the controls in mid-flight. It was a nightmare scenario. Helen Collins' husband, John, had a heart attack and slumped over in the pilot's seat as they flew in a small two-engine Cessna. Helen, who had little flight experience and none in this type of plane, took the controls and called 911 for help. Kathy Vuksanovich, a veteran flight instructor, coached Helen as her husband, Robert Vuksanovich, fired up his plane to guide Helen's Cessna to the runway.
Hi, Kathy. It's a hell of a place to be. You know, but it sounds like you're doing great. You don't ever want the airspeed to get below 100. You probably know that, right? Yes, I do.
Up in the air, Robert coached Helen through practice runs.
Okay, pick it up, pitch up there, Helen, pitch up, you're turning too sharp. Just fly south, keep going south of the airport.
I'm getting all these instructions, and I'm not paying attention to where I'm flying.
I'll be joining up with you here in about 2 minutes.
Hurry up.
Flying in formation, Robert was able to give Helen detailed instructions.
Come up on the power just a little bit, about the same amount of movement as you did before.
You want me to put more flaps down?
But once you push the power up, once you push the throttles up a little bit, then put another notch of flaps down. And you might have to trim back to hold the nose up.
Helen headed in for an emergency landing. After the plane bounced, skidding across a grassy area, the front landing gear collapsed and the plane stopped, its nose smack into the ground.
What's amazing about this story, I think it was Hemingway who said courage is grace under stress.
Yeah, well, this is a little stress.
And courage, too. She's remarkable.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure you've done this yourself. You sit on a small plane and you think, gee, whatever happened, if something happened to the pilot, could I actually slide in there and do it? But for me, when I think about it, the answer is always no.
And me as well.
Yeah.
But she had, so as you mentioned, though, she had flown a plane in the past. It had been 30 years.
Yeah.
And we know how much time that this couple seemed to spend flying to visit family and friends, so that must have helped.
They used to do this these angel flights when if somebody needs medical attention. They would fly them for free. John would fly, and she would often make meals for the family on the plane. She's got a cracked vertebra, but we're told she's going to be out of the hospital in a couple of days. Remarkable.
So tell us about him before we go.
Well, he was a wonderful man and spent, you know, a lot of his life obviously doing this sort of these angel flights, but he was pronounced dead. You know, he died behind the controls.
Wow, it's a hell of a story.
Jim, thanks.
Thank you, Jim.